Hi there, this is CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, right across the Red River from Bossier City, Louisiana, where we have a great Barksdale Air Force Base and everything. It's really kind of cool. So, anyway, yeah. Uh, so now the purpose of this video, I'm going to get right into it, is to talk about episodes 3 and 4 of American Horror Story NYC. That is to say, New York City. Uh, okay, so spoiler, because I'm going to talk spoilers from this point on. Uh, I'll kill some time for a moment. I don't actually like uh, the title because I feel like most of this action is happening. There's a little place on Fire Island, and then some. I guess it's working out. You know, there's a subplot that's happening on that started on Fire Island, and it's spreading throughout the village, and most of the action is taking place at leather bars around the village, Greenwich Village, and some, some late night action in Central Park, whatever. It must have been really, really happening the way they're playing it. So anyway, but I will say this. Um, I like this. They're giving us a story that's very close to uh, William Friedkin's Cruising, which is an adaptation of a book, and Al Pacino did a great job in that movie, by the way. That movie um, has one particular kill in it. It has others, but I mean, it's this one particular kill uh, that just it's still unnerving for me to think about it. So if you see that movie, check it out. It's it's brutal. It's brutal, and it was very realistic, and and eh, you know, uh, anyway. But so we haven't had anything like that because there have been some murders. This is first and foremost a crime drama, and then secondly, it's a medical uh, investigation. So it's a crime drama and a medical drama. Uh, and we're getting William Friedkin's Cruising, and in the medical drama part, we're really getting what is starting to develop, as I suspected, a plague. But this plague is being linked to, uh, and it's quick and it's deadly, and it's being linked to people having visions. So they have shared thoughts of, hey, we're like there's uh, an old lady transient. So she's not really old. She may be my age or something like that, but she's transient, so she looks worse for the wear. And then there's um, a person in sort of a costume, stage costume, performance art, white face, and everything like that, and uh, Harlequin type lip and everything like that, giving you know a, a an MC of the show at this art house that caters to like a gay audience and everything. And so he gave in the first and second season, first and second episode, gave a reading that included lines in the poem that was the exact same of the vision that this transient was having, and they cross paths. And she tells him the same thing, and he realizes, hey, you're saying what I. So he's like, what did you say? But she's like, something's coming for you. As if she changes it up a little bit, and she's like, something's coming, and he's coming for you. So there's a specific someone who's coming for this person. And then shortly after he got sick, he was sick, and then so some days later he was found in his apartment and dead from symptoms of this disease that they're still trying to figure out. And they kind of tie in, why is Billy Lord uh, acting as a doctor? Well, she's overseeing uh, disease research as it ties into. It was first discovered in Fire Island, and she said if it hasn't crossed over, it's going to, and it has. And then yeah, so and then particularly maybe jumped to cats because there are a lot of cats all over this art house. Now, a lot of the action has taken place in the leather bars, and there's a lot going on there. It turns out there's a couple. The two male leads. One runs a, uh, a kind of a tattletale political news rag that a magazine that kind of like uh, supports gay issues, and of course Sandra Bernhardt and a couple of her lady friends have uh, talked themselves into a job. So she is telling the doctor, because he's investigating the murders, and she's like, yeah, well, we need to cover some of these things too. And so she's kind of covering uh, there's some sickness, and she goes with the conspiracy theory and talks to the doctor, played by Billy Lord. That's Princess Leia's daughter, Carrie Fisher's daughter in real life. So and it kind of lets them know, hey, there's a government research that's going on, and it's being brought back. It you know and they know that I know about it. They being the government, or something within the government. So whatever it is, I don't know, but they know that she knows about it. I don't know. Maybe losing my blue bulb here. I may have to change it out soon. And so, or it could just be if I shake the table or whatever. I saw it blink. So anyway, oh, there it goes. It's when I shake the table, it gets loose. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so but this third and fourth, because it was like the first and the second episode played on one night last week, and then we get the third and the fourth, and then we're gonna get, and next week we're gonna get the fifth and the sixth, and then we're gonna get the seventh and the eighth, and then the ninth and tenth. So we're getting 2 weeks for 5 weeks, 2 episodes a week for 5 weeks. So that's kind of cool. I like it. There's more things. That first episode is kind of went on a little bit as they're just kind of like establishing a tone, but now they're putting more stuff into it. Now that we've gotten some characters, Patty LaPone, who was a singer in the first night, is like, and I'm just gonna say, I'm watching both of them, so it's like really 5 long episodes. I think you can watch it how you want, whatever. But anyway, um, so the second night, uh, the second week, Patty LaPone, she's not just a singer or proprietor of a bathhouse act and everything like that, where some stuff is going down, but she's like, she decides to go on record, as a member of the community, a straight person, but caters to, you know, she's an advocate for gay equality. And yeah, so she decided to go on record about what she's noticing, that like, at least once a month, if not more, ambulances are being called to her establishment, and that's because she's having to bribe them to come there, you know, and people are getting sick and things, so there's, and then murder and things, that she's noticed there's a change and something is coming. And then of course we see in the previews that she's got some card reading abilities. And there's probably we're going to see some of that next week. So there are. Oh, here's this thing. The big. Thus far, these 4 episodes, there have been one overall character. Now there usually is in most seasons. There's kind of a mascot character. Like we had season 1, we had Rubber Man. Season 2, we had Bloody Face. Who do we have in Coven? Most of all, we had probably the closest would have been the Axeman, and he came later, like, you know episode 6 or 7 or something like that, and kind of rounded out. But and then 4 we had Twisty, and 5 we had probably uh, Mr. March, the original hotel owner of hotel and stuff like this. So there's, there's usually some sort of overall catalyst, usually a villain, but sometimes, in the case of Twisty, a anti-hero that is misunderstood because Twisty was killing people, but he completely was innocent of everything that he was doing. He was deranged and and emotionally and mentally disturbed uh, in his trauma, and really thought that what he was doing was for the children, in his care for the child that he was going to take care of, and everything. So you'd have to check that season out. But yeah, so anyway. So in this one, the character. This is the season that we're on now, American Horror Story, NYC. We have this leather-clad giant dude. I can't call him Big Daddy. That's the character's name is Big Daddy. I can't do that. That's just dumb as shit. Uh, you know, I don't know. Anyway, sounds like I don't know. It sounds like somebody's you know pet name for the family granddad, or the you know the patriarch or something like that. I can't do anyway, so he's this figure that's been around, and he will come after and he will attack people. But what I think, and I had a hunch because no one really would direct him specifically, he always shows up and he does something. But now this, it's weird because I thought maybe a ghost, but he did show up and he did cause and unless there's two, but I mean, they looked like the same character, and he threw a Molotov cocktail into a gay bar and it caught fire, and four people died. But there could have been some benevolence to that action because he does show up when it's time to chase people, uh, and they seem to inevitably be running from him, but they're also running from some other type of danger. It seems to be, except for maybe that first chase scene in the park. You don't really know, but yeah, because the reason why is because he could have been there as a vision, or he could have actually been throwing the cocktail. Uh, Ghost typically, even in American Horror Story, throughout all the seasons, ghosts have been kind of like locked to where they had perished. And it's been kind of like a rule on that. Yes, they can show up, and uh, yes, they can materialize and hurt people. But they're usually like some geographical limitations on their reach, and so I don't know. But I do know that at one point he was this leather guy was in the park, and he was going after one of the leads of the show, who was a cop who was in the closet, but he just came out to his bosses at work because he was going to get found out anyway. They're investigating uh, the gay bars, and he's been secretly frequenting the leather bars. He's got a hidden kink on that even his current uh, love interest didn't know about, and his ex-wife is finding all this evidence about his darker side. So the cop draws on him and shoots. Uh, and then the guy's not there. So I don't know, unless they're going to start next week with the leather clad giant bohemian guy, uh, like nursing bullet wounds. But no, the cop would see him. Would have seen him run off. Actually, it's just like he fired on him, and the guy was just not there, like instantly not there. So I'm getting, yeah. There's just maybe tighten the bulb, and here's what it is. Yeah, that's what it was. Loose bulb in the lamp. Yeah, it's more sturdy now. Okay, so I was like, why is there a twinkling or a short? But now as it shakes, it's not moving, so it's just a loosely screwed in bulb. Okay, so yeah, so these are my and then there's so much because the first night last week where they showed two episodes back to back when they were just kind of like introducing and getting the tone right and everything, it was great. They were setting stuff up, but in this third and this fourth, the momentum really picked up, not to a racing pace, but there's a lot going on. We've got the Zachary Quinto character who is also into that scene, you know, that whole leather scene and everything. I never identified with that. I remembered the first season of the singular anthology, American Horror Stories, that tell like one story, uh, except for that first two-part episode. But they really just tell like one story each episode, and it was that they were doing the leather woman versus the leather man at the murder house, and it's like, you know, I don't get into whole that, you know what I mean? Like it's, well, I don't know, but uh, you know, I'm all about some costuming and everything like that, but to the degree that these people take it, it's like, you know, that they're depicting, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I don't have to understand everything, and that's my thing. This is taking place primarily. Uh, it's male. It's a male heavy cast. It's taking place centrally around the leather bars, and even the people who are not into the leather and S&M scene, they're adjacent to it. Uh, One guy's looking for his missing roommate. Uh, One guy's uh, a magazine editor, news, you know, underground, you know, or localized. I don't know if it's underground, but yeah, but to the gay community about the murders and those issues, and now it's addressing the sickness and the plague that's going to be going on. You know, because they have the women that are going to start writing about that. Sandra Bernhardt with her conspiracy theories. She's about to start doing that, and then so there's the whole thing. Uh, yeah, uh, there's a lot going on. With everything that I've said, I have not spoiled the tension on this, which is this is a show that is delving into relationships and relationship dynamics, and so there is some of that drama going on, and it's taken itself serious, even the parts of it that go a little bit melodrama. It's almost plausible because I've known characters who are people who are just characters. You know what I mean? Like, uh, you know, like that their day to day attire when they go to work, or their, you know, that's their mask, but their true self is who they are when they get to go to the bar when no one can watch them. And I remember when people really had to be in the closet like that. And I came out when it was a gradual thing, but I was in my late teens, stepping into adulthood, like 19, and then it was like, you know, and then I was away from home, and then I came back, and we didn't talk about it really. And when something came up, we just didn't talk about it uh, for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, because I was getting acclimated and everything. It's a whole backstory. I got my own backstory. So yeah, and so yeah, and then so after the comfortability, uh, yeah, because I was out and I wasn't really going to hide in the closet or anything like that. But I also didn't want to hit my family over the head and make them talk about what made it was uncomfortable, because I felt it was like it should have been a non-issue. But fundamental Baptist and stuff like that. So yeah, it was coming out today would be like, you know, there's a lot more. I don't want to say. there's a lot more examples to look to when it comes to how to come out or how to talk about this or how to to do it in a more comfortable way. But it's always going to be uncomfortable for someone young to come out and everything like that. And so I hope that if parents kind of see that, and maybe they just kind of want to wait and see what goes on or something like that. If their child comes to them one day and wants to come out, I hope that they don't make it a big grand issue or whatever, because it didn't have to be. But I don't want to get political. I don't want to get social or anything like that. But this does take place where the where you went to as you identified, especially as a gay man, because uh, you know I can't speak on the female perspective, but as a gay man, when you went out, it, that was when you really got to be your true self. And so that's why the gay community back in the day really uh, gravitated towards costumes and subsex and how we identify and what's this. And it's not just about sexuality, but a big part of a person's personality. You know, the whole hanky code and everything that got discussed in the first and second episodes and everything like that. So I remember some of that kind of stuff because it was a holdover in the late 80s and early 90s when I was coming out, even though most of that was all passe. But there were still some echoes of that, um, because it was really important that people find the support wherever they could find it. And so here's the thing: people were flocking to big cities, and they were getting hurt, and they were getting sick, and they were we. And this is at a time when people HIV was really just starting to be talked about, but only like in 1981. I don't think so publicly. Like I think they were just starting to get some stuff, but there wasn't, but so I think maybe this is kind of using the whole parable thing of what might, there is kind of parabling the whole HIV thing, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where the whole series is going, but I do like it. I do know that the vibe is cruising from William Friedkin, and then there is the secondary plot, which is actually forming to be an equal part of what's going on, and that is with this plague or this sickness, but it's taking people out real quick, like within a few days, and it's possible that the sickness had jumped from the deer to cats because this performer that died uh, from symptoms performed in a gay art house as a gay performance in a place that had cats all over the place, cats galore, uh, and of course with that fleas and stuff like that. So yeah, um, it's interesting. It's and I said this show's taking itself serious, and even the characters that seem over the top. That's There are people who are over the top like that, and their characters and everything like that. They're that's who they are, and everything. This season, as weird as it is, and as in your face as it is with this particular culture, on the gore, there's not blood being splattered everywhere so far. So it's really been uh, kind of toned down and subtle in those areas that actually kind of make it scarier than some other seasons. I love it. So yeah, I think the topic's probably going to be not the favorite of every viewer, and may even turn some viewers away. I don't know what to say about that. Sometimes it's different seasons. They have different themes and different vibes, and some people like some seasons more than others. I tend to like the more serious ones, and that's cool too. But I've liked them all. I've liked them all. Um, anyway, that's it. Uh, Check it out. I'm looking forward to the other stuff. And if you want to comment, comment. But there are spoilers. I did say that, so and I did talk all about it, but not really. There's so much more going on in these episodes. Anyway, that's enough for me. I love you guys. Love and light, and have a good night.